I just got back from a month-long trip. I was in Manilla, Davao, the east side of Mindanao. I went all over and I spent way too much. Pretty sure I'm gonna do something pretty ridiculous next month. Let's go ahead and talk about it while I go ahead and have a 55 peso cup of iced coffee. That's less than $1. Where I've chosen to get my cup of coffee is this wonderful little spot they've set up over at the Camelon Festival. They do not have a physical store yet, but they soon will. And for 55 pesos, I'm hoping this coffee is going to be delicious. Hey guys, I put on the noise canceling because it's always a little loud here in the Philippines. As I'm sure you understand, a festival would be very loud. I got a little wild last month. We ended up going to Davao to scout out different condominiums, Manilla to go see what that was about, and I needed some business done, and also Eastern Mindanao. I'm going to talk all about it, but first, Ivan, the guy in charge of the store, just dropped me off my coffee, so let's see if 55 pesos is any good. It's an iced Americano. Looks like it's about, I don't know, 12 ounces maybe? Let's give it a try. It's pretty good. It's better than I would expect for 55 peso coffee. I will say my Monk's Blend is probably a little bit smoother. But this is nice. This is supposed to taste like a cold brew. Like they soak the beans beforehand. So for under $1, I'd say that's a good coffee. And now I'll have the energy I need to tell you about my wild month of travel. The whole month started off with us going down to Davao. The game plan here was to get her sister to a city where she could take a bus home out to this small city in the Eastern Mindanao. And then our game plan was we were going to scout out condominiums in Davao to see if we wanted to move anywhere and just kind of do different sectors of Davao. Start off in the southwest sector. There was this place over by SM Ecoland. I didn't really care for the pool at all. They didn't have a shaded spot of it. And it was good enough prices on the actual condo, but the condo we stayed in wasn't very well maintained. But the facilities themselves looked very nice. We ended up getting her sister off to go back home, and we continued our journey. So I booked a second place. It's like Meta Vista Gardens or something. And this is going to be by the middle of Davao, next to the other SM, like I think Ayala Mall or something. And this place looked beautiful. Right, the downstairs, the pool area all looked great. The lounge area looked great. Security was nice, friendly. The room itself, we got up to the room and there was no toilet paper. The internet didn't work. Nothing was the way it should. And they had like a little sign up next to the bed. And this had like the email, the phone number, the Facebook page, the rules, all this stuff. Internet password was wrong. It wasn't valid, like it didn't work. So then I tried calling the number on the sheet, didn't go through. So then I tried to message them through Agoda, tried to call the number on Agoda, still nothing. I said, all right, screw it. There's not even toilet paper, but whatever, we'll go pick some up on our way back. So we go out for the evening, we have a great evening, do a little bit of shopping, go out to eat, go to some activities. I think we went bowling that day or that evening. So then by the time we get back, she ends up hitting him up on Facebook. Contacts, immediately gets a phone call from him. Wow, what service. Never seen such good service here in the Philippines. So nice that they call us almost immediately after messaging them. Very rare. But the problem is now they were saying that they did not have us booked, that we weren't supposed to be there, and we had to leave because somebody else was coming tomorrow. Along with that, they were speaking Bisaya in the local language, so I don't know exactly what's going on. But then they said, fine, stay tonight, but you owe us 1,600 pesos to stay the night. Said, no, not going to do that. Take it up with Agoda. And they said, oh, we're calling security. Okay, call security, because at this point, I don't know who's scamming who. Like, I don't know if they're the scammers, Agoda's the scammers. What's going on? All I know is I paid for a room on Agoda. It had 2 reviews on it, both 5-star, and I'm supposed to be here. So that's when I decide, all right, the 2 of us, we're going to go down and we're going to talk to security and get ahead of this in case it does happen. So we go down to talk to security. I let them know I'm not a criminal, I'm not a squatter, I'm not a trespasser or anything. Oh, yeah, something's up. Probably the people you talk to on Facebook are scammers. So go ahead and come back tomorrow morning when the staff is here and deal with it then. So fine, we talked to him like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Walk back up to the condo room, and she's getting calls from these people again on Facebook. I turn around and say to her, hey, ignore it. They already threatened to call security. They haven't called security. Just ignore them. They're going to be money grubbing. And as I'm saying that, we round the corner to the hallway. And sure enough, as I'm finishing my sentencing, looking at her, I look, there's a man, a woman, and a bunch of little kids standing outside her door. So immediately I walk up, the guy turns to me and says, I'm not going to talk to you because I don't speak English. So, okay, and starts talking immediately to her. I don't really care for his tone. I don't know what's being said, but I don't care for his tone. So I immediately said, all right, let's go talk in front of security because I want to take them away from the room where my bags are. They obviously don't have access. Otherwise, I would have seen a key in their hand or they would have let themselves in. So we go down in front of security, and sure enough, security says that they are the rightful owners. Oh, shoot. What am I doing now? So they're very demanding that they're going to get 1,600 pesos from me to spend the night. And they're trying to use my girlfriend because she's very sweet and nice, unlike me. I'm a hard ass. And eventually I said, no, we're not staying here. The Wi-Fi didn't work, the password they had it. I'm showing the sign that they had in the room that none of the information is valid anymore. Well, no, it's just no good. All right, well, have you been in this room in the last year to fix everything, or do you just run a slump? Because from the mold along the windows, the lack of toilet paper, lack of any kind of shampoo, soap, or anything. The towels were like old, super old. I'm not paying to stay here. So then they say, all right, well, you owe us 900 pesos because you were in the room. You used the shower and we have to pay somebody to clean. Now, granted, you can get somebody to clean one of these condos, like 250 pesos. And from the looks of the condo, they weren't even paying that because they didn't look like they were using the proper chemicals to get rid of everything. So they say, all right, she tells me, they say you owe 900 pesos, you need to pay them 900 pesos. So, all right, well, let them know they owe me 3,000 pesos. So I charge 1,000 pesos an hour of my wasted time, and they've wasted 3 hours. So they start talking with each other, so they're not getting anything from me. They're not getting a single centavo. And I know the dude can understand what I'm saying, because whenever I'm saying it, I see him go from angry to like realizing he's defeated. So I say, yeah, we'll pick up and we'll leave. It's 11 o'clock at night, it's starting to rain, but we'll leave. He said, yeah, they kept saying you need to take it up with Agoda. I was like, well, somebody's impersonating your business on Agoda. They said, well, that's your problem, take it up with them. So then they said, all right, well, you owe us 500 peso. I said, all right, well, you owe me 1,500 peso, because I'll give you the discount. Like you give me a discount for the cleaning. And eventually they realized, like, no. He sat down, he was like messing around his phone, looking angry. I said, hey, we're gonna pack up all our stuff. We're gonna get out of your condo. I'll take it up with Agoda that we were scammed. You're not getting a peso from me, not one. Change the location. Sorry about that. In the typical Philippines way, about 3 people all next to me decide to listen to their phone at full volume on speaker. which was competing with the speaker from a restaurant next door and the kids yelling. So I moved over here to the fairgrounds area where it'd be a little more quiet. But I digress. So there it is, 11 o'clock at night, middle of the pouring rain, and we have to go switch hotels. We have to go switch from the condo we're in to a hotel. I saw on Google Maps, all right, there's a Red Planet Hotel right around the corner. You just walk down the street, 2 minutes, bam, it'll be there. So fine, we'll get out of there before this dude starts demanding $1 million pesos for whatever silly thing he wants to demand it for. And I don't, if you guys ever dealt with a Filipino chick, you know getting the hair wet, getting the head wet with rain is a no-go. It's not a thing that should be happening. It's not a thing they want to happen. They are convinced they will get deathly ill and just put her in a bad mood. So, but it's a 2-minute walk, right? So we walk 2 minutes, got the luggage, she's got the umbrella, I'm just walking in the rain, getting the luggage wet. We get down to the end of the road where the hotel's gonna be, and it's not there. Google Map wasn't updated properly, and the hotel's no longer around. So at this point, we had to find an awning, stay underneath it until I call a Grab and just take us to the nearest hotel that I know. So she recommended this hotel chain called Sogo. I usually stay at like Red Planets. There's a couple other ones that are good, but we ended up just got the nearest hotel that I knew was a good hotel. Took the Grab there, and sure enough, because I couldn't book online because it was 11:30 at night, I had to pay walk-in rates. So it was like 3,000 pesos, 3,500 pesos. It was a lot, because normally this room is like 1,700 peso room a night if you book online and you do it properly, like you hunt for the deal. But at this point now it's 11:30 plus, middle of the night, raining, so I'm just kind of gonna pay it, right? So long story short, I ended up talking with whatever customer service dude they had in India, with a little bit of finagling and a little bit of curt talk. I got my refund from Agoda. They still haven't taken the listing off, so they're not really concerned about people getting scammed. They probably figure like 10% of people won't do what I did in order to get a refund, which is you have to message, call, convince the guy, because immediately off the bat he was like, "No, sorry, sir, can't." Everyone wants your money. On the trip, we're heading to the third location, and we get a call that her grandfather passed. So she's really broke up about it. I had already, the day prior, I decided I was going to go to Manilla and get my camera fixed because the camera was broken. And then while I was in Manilla, I was going to get the cell phone repaired as well. So I already booked these tickets. But then the grandfather passed away. So long story short, I ended up renting a car, driving out to Eastern Mindanao, staying out there for like 3 or 4 days. And then after that, heading back to Davao and then taking the Manilla flight later than expected. So this means I had the added cost of pushing the flight back. I had the added cost of the gas and the rental car. Then I had to pay for the broken camera, pay for the broken cell phone repair, which wasn't too bad. Then we got to Manilla, and of course, I hadn't really spent too much time in Manilla. I was kind of against it. But it's literally the only place in all the Philippines that has a certified DJI repair shop. So they're the only people that can like legitimately work with the DJI company in order to repair your camera. I said, all right, well shoot, while we're here, we're gonna do it big. We ended up going to the aqua park. We ended up going into like every nice restaurant. We ended up going, hanging out with her sister, taking out her sister and her boyfriend to eat. We ended up going to the museums. We ended up just, every day was just nonstop action, as I'm sure you've seen from some of my shorts. So, got back, had to spend the day in CDO, do the immigration stuff, and it was like, all right, the immigration itself, I went over a couple months, like, so it's 2-month renewal, but then when you get to certain months, they just charge you extra for certain reasons. So that was like an extra 6,000 pesos right there. So essentially, this trip was super expensive. You know, you got to think you have a whole month of hotel rooms, some of which I had to walk-in rate, other ones were higher than others. Then you had a whole month of activities, whole month of taxi rides, because we didn't really take a lot of the transportation methods. And frankly, she's not a walker like I am. Well, she did walk a lot. It's more taxis that I would take when I'm solo. Luckily with Manila, we stayed next to the train, so we took the train a bunch, but not every time. So it all adds up. It's a huge month. It's a huge month of expenditures, and quite frankly, I got back and it's starting up again. So what I've given myself is I'm gonna call it the April challenge. May, the birthdays are here. I wanna do it big. Talk about that later. But later in the month, April, I gotta make it a cheap month. So I've seen all these videos and then that say, oh, live on the Philippines for $500 a month. Oh, you live like a king. Then I've heard the counter videos that say, oh, $500 a month, that's just barely surviving, that's not living. And frankly, I think for me and one other person, to make sure that we're housed, fed, clothed, and have some good times, I think we can do it for under $500 a month. Now, it's definitely gonna take some sacrifice. I'm not gonna be living my normal lifestyle. I'm not gonna be living a 5-star lifestyle. It's not gonna be the expat lifestyle that you dream of. But I think for $500 a month, I can live a good lifestyle. I think that I can provide for myself and her and have it still be where we can go out and do some activities, we have a good, nice place to live, and that everything is taken care of. All the food is fresh. It's not like we're gonna be starving ourselves or eating trash, but that it's like a decent way of living. So look forward to April when I take you to where we're gonna be living on a bare budget. A lot of you guys are on Social Security. A lot of you guys don't have much money. So it's gonna be $500 a month for the month of April. Do you think I can do it? After hearing the retarded amount I spent in Davao, Manila, Eastern Mindanao, just traveling around, there are so many expenses to that, whether it be the tickets to the different events. Most of it was just airplane tickets. Pushing back the Manila flight was extra. The flights themselves, the bus rides, the taxi rides. Manila was hot. Didn't want to take the multi-cab anymore. Same with Davao. But the budget got out of hand, and frankly, it's been out of hand for months now. So, April is the month. April is going to be the month where I live under $500. And I want you to join along with. Hit that subscribe button so you can see if I fail or I succeed. I think I can succeed, but if I fail, you can tell me what a dummy I am in the comments below any video I make. And that'll be my $500 a month expat lifestyle. See you guys later down the path.